Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff Marchand from NIGHTCARVER Designs. And today on the show, I have Kristin Stockdale. Kristin is the owner and host of Workbenchcon, and I get to work with her every day, which is really awesome. I know a lot of people don't know her, so I wanted to give a quick intro on who she was, and then we diverge into a bunch of different things about Workbench. If you are thinking about getting your ticket and you want to save $50, you can use NIGHTCARVER to save $50 on your ticket. I get a kickback, you get to save some money, and it makes everybody happy. And if you're looking to support the show, I recommend you head on over to my links for Carhartt. They have a great sale going on right now. And again, I get a little kickback, so it helps support me. A huge thank you to one of my favorite groups of people, the team over at Sabretooth. They are currently going to be doing a Black Friday sale that is starting on the 24th and ending the 27th, which is today. So head on over there and grab yourself something special. You're going to save 20%. But if you're listening to this after the sale has ended, you can use NIGHTCARVER 10 to save yourself 10%. So that way you can get yourself a few tools to get you started with some power carving. And I'm going to be hosting a contest starting on December 1st with the Maker Challenge Central. So make sure you are checking that out. And speaking of contests, before we jump into this, we are hosting one right now for WorkbenchCon with the Maker Collab peeps. And this is a Lego contest. So it's a little late to be joining in now, but I recommend going in and checking out the people that are working on these now. They're all battling out to win 2 free tickets to WorkbenchCon. And I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for joining the podcast again. This is episode 2 with you.
Oh, I am so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And today we're going to focus all on WorkbenchCon because last time we dove in really deep on Haven, and now we're going to talk about how it started and all that fun. But I still do, in case anyone didn't hear that first episode, I want to talk about your background a bit too and kind of share that so people know, where you're from and kind of how you've kind of stumbled into this whole world here. So if you could just give us a quick glimpse about Kristin and what she used to do and what led her here, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, so super stoked that life is quite the roller coaster. If you allow it, it can be full of thrill, right? So I started as an architecture student and then really just wanted to be an interior designer. And then became a mom, started interior design blossom for me, and then more and more clients started hiring me for special events. So I found that I loved designing all the details 24 hours around the clock in my garage for those special events. And those relationships that I started making corporate led me to land myself in corporate conferences. And those are fun, but not as fun as having your own, where you can design props and, all of that and really curate it. And one of the special things that I took away from my experience in college in architecture studio was learning how to use tools. And the liberation that it gives you when you can create pretty much anything. Your creativity is the only factor that's limiting with these two things. It's pretty powerful. So when the opportunity came to me, Haven started before Workbench. When the opportunity came to provide an experiential conference for specifically women in this DIY designed realm, I was like, oh my gosh, that is what I am so passionate about. Like, women really breaking down the barriers of women putting tools in their hands. So my big mission was getting these tool companies, like Scroll Saw, all the companies that you would think, oh, I can't do that. I'd be afraid to do that. Even like epoxy, just
Oh yeah.
having Total Boat as a longtime partner, epoxy has a barrier. It's something that you're fear. So I was all in, super, super happy, laughable at the time. I wanted to start a blog myself, because I'm a happy homemaker, hostess.
I still
Love
want to see that blog, and I still want
all
to see you
the,
posting all the time, by
right?
the way. Just FYI,
Love
people. She does a
creating with
lot of
my,
cool things that we never get to see.
yeah, I just don't document it. And I really was wanting to do that. So I met with these women, and yes, let's do this. And I'll even partner with you for free because I want to learn how to blog. Well, here we are, what, 14 years later, 13 years later.
You're still
and
learning.
I still, yeah. I could probably teach everybody how to do a blog or influence, but I don't do it.
Well, you are literally constantly going from one event to the next event. So I can totally see how that can be really hard to take the time to actually sit down and try to work on something for just you. You know what I mean? Because you're doing so many other things for so many people. I can't even imagine, like I do enough. You do more though.
Gosh. Well, and I suffer from what we, as an influencer, as a creative, I think we all suffer from this. It's a mental block. If I can't do it really pretty and my photographs aren't, all that I want them to be, and I don't seem to be able to get the angle that other folks just seem natural.
I understand that.
All that. So, and I preach, be present, not perfect. But for me to be put myself out there in such a public way with what I do on a personal level for friends, family, events, I would want it to be perfect before scrutinized. And so I don't do it.
We're going to get you there one day. Hang out with me long enough. We'll get you there. But that's really cool. So that led you to start in Haven, which I would love, I do want to talk a little bit about it so people know what it is. So we're not just referencing it and they have no clue what Haven is. So if you can kind of give like the short spiel that you would to somebody about what Haven is and how that came.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was developed by a team of players in the DIY design space. Blogging was the thing back then. This was, 13 so years ago. And it is a conference completely geared towards the DIY designer influencer. Lifestylers also join us, and professional interior designers join us. So, we kind of fill this gap. And now we've started noticing more crafters as well. But it is
cool.
A conference that teaches, teaches the business of influencing. There is a focus more on blogging with Haven, and it's again powerful when you put like-minded people, and it's a niche. So yeah, that's what Haven is a conference for anybody in the DIY design lifestyle space.
Yeah, the classes are top notch too. Like I went to those classes because I had the opportunity to do the social media for them the year before, and I learned so much from all of them that has helped me, which has been just a tremendous opportunity for myself. So I definitely got to say, like, you do a great job at getting people to come that are going to really teach you what you need to know in this field and help you grow. So I've benefited from it myself.
Well, that's absolutely my passion. Like I love to see people. If I have my little corner of utopia, I truly believe that if we all do what we love, it makes us happier. And so it's it's my conceited way, if I could say, of helping to change the world,
No,
and awesome. I just identify with DIYers personally because of my background.
Yeah, I do a lot of DIY myself. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do. It's something that we have homes and we all don't have big budgets, so you have to make it work. So it's a good field to be in, and I think it's great to see how people are utilizing that to also help get some money for those big investments in their homes. It helps out. So even if you're not trying to
Mhm.
do this full time, at least you're teaching people how to bring some income into their household for things that they're
Exactly.
doing already and how to kind of capitalize on that.
Well, you just touched on something else too. I do believe that we as people in general, when we have some financial freedom, we're able
Mhm.
to make correct choices. And um, desperation does not lead to good choices most of the time. And so again, that's another piece of why on why it's so awesome to see both of these conferences and a few other events set people free in that regard.
Yeah. It's fun. You've been in here for my experience, seeing me trying to balance all what I was balancing. I mean, I still balance a crazy amount, but you got to see me quit my job and move on
Yeah.
and work with you and Sabertooth and whoever else I can,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy working with. And I'm
Carhartt.
yeah, Carhartt. Well, yes, we'll say that. Like that was a great opportunity I just came out with. Well, this is a present day episode that I'm gonna put out. So go and join my giveaway, guys. There's a great Carhartt giveaway going on. Might as well promote that while we're here. But
Absolutely.
I've been able to make these different contacts throughout the years by going to these events because one of the biggest things that we talk about is the networking. The best
Mm-hmm.
part about WorkbenchCon not only is the education but you're going there to meet the people that you could possibly work with down the line. Like I met
Right.
Gwen at Carhartt, and then now that was March. Now we're in November, and I'm just doing a campaign with them. Like it's not going to guarantee that you're going to get these things to everybody, but you're going to be able to start building your relationships with people, and eventually
Right.
it can take a few years. But if you continue that path, you will get where you want to go. Like I firmly believe in that.
100%. And the more and more folks that I talk to, I wish I could capture them in testimonies. Again, me and capturing content, it's just, I don't know, I'm a magnet that works the opposite way.
Yep.
Anyway, um, every event that you attend, or these other folks that I've been talking to, it's like there's a huge win that comes out of it, whether it's a networking opportunity that we set up, networking that built a collaboration, or it's working with a brand, and you right there, one of those things are more than likely going to happen as an outcome of attending. And that's your return on investment right there. Not even to mention the up level education, the fun,
Mm-hmm.
the relationships outside of like
Yes.
collaborating on a business level, but the relationships that you make. I know right now, this time of the year, we're talking a lot about how grateful we are for our community. And, times get tough and you really need like-minded folks, because if your world is anything like my world, vlogging and blogging and influencing, people don't know or don't understand what that is. And it can be somewhat of a joke, like you
Yeah.
really make a living that way. And so you have to have folks that really understand your journey,
Mm-hmm.
that will lean you up, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
So,
it's always been looked at as dirty words, right? Influencer. You're an influencer? But I feel like if we own it, what's the big deal? That's a job title. Like
it's huge, and it's
it's
a
yeah.
huge
Mm-hmm.
honor, because
Yep.
we have influence, and we that comes with honor and responsibility, right?
Yes.
So but I don't know, I think of it as an honor.
I do too.
You are impressing many people,
Yeah. No, people trust you. I think that's the thing. Like I used to, there's a big responsibility there. I had a job
Yeah.
recently. Somebody came out to me and they sent me a product and I didn't like it and they were going to pay me to do it. And I'm like, I just can't and it's so
No.
hard to say no to the money, but I'm like, I can't. Cause if somebody buys this, I'm going to feel terrible.
Yeah. Yes. And let me tell you, you're saying no to a dime today, but
Yes.
saying no to something that does not fit with your brand, align with your beliefs, quality, whatever, will make you 10 grand.
Yes. No,
I
know what
can't
you
say
mean.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
but later, because if you start hawking crap, people aren't gonna, can I say that? I'm
You
sorry.
can say that. This is my podcast is a very much, I don't mind hitting the explic button. So if you want to go even crazier, Kristin, listen, let's get the Workbench Con
I can
crew
get a
to
little
know who you
crazy in
are.
my verbiage, but
You let it out. People want to know
keep it
who you
clean.
are. This is not a show. We're real people talking. I love that people can come on. That's what my podcast is all about, though. Is like, I just want people to have fun and relax and tell their story, and so we can all learn about them. Because I know a lot of people don't get to meet you when they're at Workbench Con. You're like the elusive Kristin. Like, where is she?
Yeah.
Because you're always running to the next thing, or there's something that came up and you gotta,
Yeah.
I
And
love
I like
that.
it that way.
I know.
I really do. I like it that way. That feeds my energy, you know, just keep it moving.
Yeah, well, you got to be ready to go to the next
Often.
item, because people, like when they get out of classes, you got to have this ready for them, or we have to have this set up. So there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that people don't get to see. So Workbench Con, how many years has this been going on?
Our first year was 2018, and it was in quite a rugged warehouse that I think everybody that was there has such a special memory of it. And yeah, it was small. I want to say we had 300 people there, maybe.
Okay.
Small. And then it's just kind of built and built from there. Obviously COVID was kind of a bummer. It stole our thunder, which I know stole a lot of people's thunder.
No, people know. People understand what you mean by that.
Event. Yeah.
It put a pause on it. You had to go digital, right? And then you had to just stop for a year.
Yeah, well, so what we did is we did a lot in Texas.
Okay.
Texas didn't close. And so we did a few YouTube series with Jimmy. We went up to New York, and it was just in his space. And we were very mindful of doing, just the 10 people. I mean, it was legit. We were following the rules.
You have to.
And we did one with Jimmy, one with April, and then one with Izzy. So it was so fun. Yeah.
It's so fun and intimate, though, when you have that stripped down crew, you know what I mean? Like that's fun to me.
It was.
Things. That's cool. But we came back in 2022, right? It was the first year, because you had to close for 2021.
Yeah, we had to close in 2021. We did a survey, and the power in face-to-face events is a real thing. But for Workbench Con, I'm pretty sure take that concept and amp it by 100, because Workbench Con is just so powerful in the networking.
Yes.
So face-to-face was if we weren't going to be face-to-face, I would say 50% of your ROI goals for attending Workbench were just not going to be met. So, virtual, and there's a lot. I know the finished project or product of a virtual experience doesn't look like it takes that much, but there's a lot. And especially for me, I'm not techie. So I did do several virtual events and learned on the fly, as we all did. But it takes a lot. And just the fact that there wasn't a whole lot of support, I was like, yeah, let's skip it. It'll be more powerful when we do come back. And it sure has. I mean, I feel like Workbench completely evolved in that time it sat, and has just, it's not only a networking, really fun event, but we also have this amazing benchmark of education.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, we talk about what your reasons are to go to Workbench Con. People ask me that all the time. Like, why should I go there? Versus this thing, and education is what is the big difference. You might be able to learn skills at other places, But here is where you're going to learn the big important things that are going to project you into the future. Because
Yes.
if you're coming to WorkbenchCon, you're wanting to be a content creator, you're wanting to be an influencer, you're trying to grow your channels in some aspect. So getting the firsthand information from people who are the specialists at that is just huge. Like, we have some really great people come in and share everything they've done. They give you pointers. You can ask questions. Like, that's something you just can't get anywhere else.
Right, right. And it's, yeah, that Q&A time is big. And then this year we're enhancing our expert desks. So our expert desk lineup, you all, whew, it's powerful. And that alone, to be able to sit in a small, at the most 10-person table, right across from someone who is an expert at, I mean, I could rattle off, I think 8 different, I think we've got 12.
Rattle them off. Give a few reviews of a couple of people we're gonna have, just so they know.
So grant writing, which is really cool. Taxes. So foundationally, there are probably what, four tables that are dedicated wholly to setting up a content creator business with a foundation that is strong. And even, let's say you're already doing this thing because the animal of content creation has taken over and, you know, you're just going, but there's not a whole lot of foundation. You might be a little bit rocky there. It's not too late. Like, they're going to teach you, if you ask the right questions, get the right answers, they're going to teach you how to set yourself up for success. So there are those, and now I can't think. My brain went, and I don't have any cheat sheets.
Well, I do want to talk about what expert desk is, so we can kind of explain that too.
Yeah, for sure.
If they don't know what it is during the lunch period, there's like an hour and a half block where we don't do any classes. You're going to grab some food. You're going to sit hopefully with someone you don't know and get to meet somebody new. And then, you know, there's some time. So if you don't need to go back to your room and take a minute or something, which we always recommend doing, but if you don't need that minute, then there's people who specialize in very important topics that are going to be sitting there with a 15-minute presentation, and they're going to be there to talk to you and give you all the answers that you want. They're actually going to be able to actually sit and look at your profile. I believe we want to, well, at least we haven't nailed that one down, but we do want somebody to actually just give feedback by looking at your page, which we all want to hear, right? Like, having someone who specializes in something and just look at stuff and give feedback. Like, those are the kind of things that we're trying to bring to people that we've been getting feedback from in the past, because some people are just, they don't need that break and they just want to keep learning, or that's something that they just want to go talk to a person rather sit in an hour and a half class. Like, they might not have that attention span for that. They just want an answer. So these are going to afford you those opportunities. I just really want to talk about that because last year I feel like it was new and people weren't sure what to expect, and it wasn't promoted enough by us. So I really want to make sure we promote the heck out of those.
Yeah. So it's exactly that. You are able to sit and ask the questions to the expert and get answers right then. And then with the folks that are sitting around the table with you, obviously y'all are after the same thing. So maybe you sit longer together and really develop the concept that you were just taught, and really make things happen in a tangible way. So yeah, expert desks are huge. And I'm telling you, you can get your money's worth by one day sitting in those expert desks.
Yep. It's really, it's what you make of them for that.
Yeah.
If you don't go there, and like, I recommend have some questions ready. And I feel like that's for a lot of things, is prepare yourself. We're going to be releasing the schedule eventually. We were just talking about it. Kristin wants to release it now, and I'm telling her to hold on. We got this. Let's just wait, because I want to make sure we have it all set. But when you see that schedule come out, take a look at it and really break down what's going to be important. What's the most benefit for you? Some classes we have twice. but not all of them. So it's
Yeah,
important to watch for that.
we're going to be releasing a few more brands. We've had a few more commitments come in,
Yes.
and
We've had a
super
busy morning
stoked.
of meetings today. I'm
I am
all about
telling
Workbench
you,
Con. Yeah.
it's been so fun this whole week, right? This
Yeah.
whole week, I think everyone's trying to let's go.
Everyone's just trying to get organized before the holidays.
So we're going to be releasing those here, over the next few days as well. So research the brands that you may want to partner with, and research what they're doing and how you can complement them.
Yeah. Come with some ideas. I like what you're going
Mhm.
with that, because
Yeah.
we were talking to a couple brands and they noticed that people were nervous about approaching the different brands. So if you don't have anything to say, it can be really intimidating to go up to somebody and just say hi. I mean, ask questions about the products, but also like do some research. If you're trying to pitch yourself at these people, it's not the place really to do that. It's the place to get ahead of them, get your name, get their email, pitch it still, but you're going to have to pitch it again, probably 2 or 3 more times down the road is what I'm
And
going
tell
for.
them, and like, okay, so it is intimidating to be like, hey, I'm Kristin, I can do so much for you. No, like they're already like, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you go, hey, I just want to pop in here real quick and let you know, I love the integrity behind Sauce Stop. The fact that you guys think that my fingers are so important, that you're willing to spend all this time and energy to develop a product that's going to save them, is really special to me. And I just want to pop in and say, I'm so grateful. Do you think that the Sauce Stops guy going to be like, okay, great, thanks for popping in? No, he's going to be like, oh, thank you so much. What
Yeah.
is your name?
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to help, or she is going to help facilitate that conversation.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be too hard.
No, exactly. That's a great point. Or I like that you use this product instead of this, or your design,
Yeah.
like just something that you've noticed and some kind of talking point, and obviously we talk about elevator pitches. I think that's probably a good thing to talk about here
Yes.
too. We did that
Yeah.
on our last call. Just having something, it's not rehearsed, but kind of some talking points memorized for you to approach somebody with, that you can just lay out like what you do. Like, it's hard to describe yourself. So if you think about it for a while and kind of, what are the things I want to approach somebody with? I think that's important. Because what would you say, Kristin, if you're saying, hey, I'm Kristin, what do you do?
Hey, I'm Kristin. It's so great to be here with you. I am an event planner, so I do several events where I really help people learn and hone their craft. So what do you do?
Ooh, she's coming back at me, guys. See, now I struggle with this because I do so much, right? But I honestly usually start off with what I do, because I still am Tiff from NIGHTCARVER Designs, and I make horror themed and pop culture themed wood carved art. But I also am a social media director for 2 very amazing brands, where I would tote, of course, Workbench Con and Sabretooth. And then I would also talk that I love to podcast too. So they know a little bit about me, but I like to tell them what my big interests are, because hopefully they're interested in pop culture and horror movies. And that's a good talking point too.
One, yeah. So did you see what she just did there? So now I'm really excited. Like that, even though like horror movies are totally not my thing, but I'm super intrigued. And so I almost cut her off because it is
I
a
did
flaw
see
of
you
mine.
jump up.
And say, that is so interesting. Tell me more. And that's how conversate. And it's just easy. But say I'm totally turned off by horror or whatever, so it wasn't interesting
Still a
to
good
me.
talking point.
But right.
What do you
So what
like?
made you do that?
Yeah.
Whatever. But then she also gave me podcasting and marketing management. So given that we're at a content creator event, all of those things are going to be intriguing and inspire the person that we're talking to continue the conversation. But yeah, elevator speech is huge. I should have probably done a little bit better there, but because
Well,
I do
I
think
literally
it's so
didn't warn
important.
you. So You weren't
But
prepared for that one.
it is supposed to be very casual and
Yes.
confident. Folks, confidence. Let me
Yes.
tell you, confidence. It's such a slippery slope, right? To be conceited over confidence,
Hmm.
or over eager,
Yes.
overconfidence. But man, if you just kind of know your elevator speech and can tweak it here or there, fitting the circumstance, say it with confidence, dead ringer.
Oh, I think you talked too about this a lot is just the simple eye contact. Like if you,
Yeah.
maybe you're not the most confident or you're the outgoing person, but if you look somebody in the eyes, that is
Mhm.
just like the huge start because you're going to smile because you just made eye contact. And then
Yeah.
hopefully
Do
you're going to
not
say
make eye
something because
contact without a
yeah,
smile.
yeah, don't just stare down people, please. Like don't just look at them, but like in a friendly way, give some nice friendly eye contact because it's probably going to lead to a conversation because otherwise it's just kind of awkward if you're just looking at each other.
it it definitely will make, so let's say you're approaching the room and there's a circle of folks that are, you make eye contact with somebody that makes sense or that you might kind of
Somebody might
know, or
know,
you met
yeah.
them yesterday. Smile. I'm telling you right now, that circle is going to go from this to this,
Hmm.
and you just fit in, and you don't have to, again, the power of meeting face to face with like-minded people is they're more than likely going to be talking about a topic that you can drive
Chime.
with, you
Yes.
know?
Even if you don't
So,
say a lot, you're just getting in there and you're starting to meet people. I think that's important to talk about if you're new to this, the newbie meeting. We're really trying to enhance it this year. We're trying every year we're trying to make it better and better. Last year we did some fun brand role playing where we kind of just demonstrated if it was your first time coming, kind of what to expect and how to put yourself. This year we're going to have some more ways to just kind of get to know each other. That was the feedback we got a lot of is people wanted to actually talk to each other. I know the first year you had an open room where people were there to talk to each other and it was very quiet. So we
yeah.
ended up instilling things to do because nobody was saying anything. And then I guess we made it too structured. So we are going to try to find that beautiful, happy balance for the
Mhm.
upcoming year where people are going to have a little bit of that role play still. We're going to talk. We're going to reiterate this whole thing about just eye contact and smiling. I know it
Yeah.
sounds so simple and so basic, but it's so huge, especially when we all work at home a lot and we don't have
It's
a lot of human
intimidating.
interactions.
I'm
Yeah.
not taking that away from any person. It is
Yes.
intimidating. And I have recently, I used to go to conferences by myself often enough.
Hmm.
Um, and then, just the nature of COVID changing things, I just got out of the practice, and but I'm starting it back up again. So this year I've been to a couple conferences and I'm by myself. I forgot how intimidating it is, but I
Yeah.
kept reminding myself I had a great time. You that eye contact and smiling, but you do have to remind yourself. So it's on us to remind others.
Yes. Yep. No, it's true. But yeah, so I hope they have a good time. So if you're new to this, or even if you've come before and you feel like you're still disconnected from the community and you want your way in, this is a great way to get in with the community. Just come to the newbie meeting, meet some people and get to know them. And then you guys can go to the welcome party together, like you
Hmm.
get your buddy. And then the next day you see them across the room and you have breakfast. If you're somebody who needs a person or a beacon, like it's a great way to make somebody in the
Oh,
beginning
that's
of
a great
this.
word, a
You know what I
beacon.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
They're gonna
And
call
we're
you.
and we're enhancing our newbie experience too, this year. So we are aligning with Brittany and Kamani, and then our board, which I don't know, we probably want to talk about our board for a little bit, but
Yeah.
we have an amazing group of people behind the scenes that really help hone in the speaker list, hone in a few of the experiential events that happen around Workbench Con. So it's an amazing group of folks that really care about this community. So we're so grateful for them.
Absolutely.
Um, so some of them will also be doing this, but we're going to be creating a small group environment for our newbies that want it. So I'm excited about to see
Yes.
what this looks like and build it out.
And that's Brittany Carbone Art and Van Stray. So I want to make sure we talked about like what their
Oh yeah,
handles
I'm
were,
sorry.
because no, people,
Yeah.
if you don't know the handles, you know, I want to make sure people know that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be great. And the advisory board we'll have to release the videos again or in stuff like that so you guys can get to know them all. But we've
Oh,
got
that would
some
be great.
great people that just come and they advise. People like Wooden Maven, you know, Alma from Pink Soul Studios. We have a ton of different people on our board that are just amazing. And they come in and they respond to all of the stuff that you guys are sending our way and weigh out on all of that.
Mm-hmm. It's
I feel horrible
changed.
saying two and not all of them. I'm like, hold on. Uncommon Outpost, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Made
And
by Mary
John,
Lou.
Lincoln
John
Street.
from
Yeah.
Lincoln Street. Izzy from Izzy Swan. We have Ben Ueda. I'm like, who else do we have on there? Did I get everybody? I want to make sure I got everybody. I think I did.
I think
Oh, wait,
that's right.
no. Vanessa from First
Oh
Gen
my
House.
gosh, yes.
Yes. Now I think I've got everybody. Yeah. I'm like, I can't just say two and not all. But we have this amazing group that comes and we meet once a month, hopefully, as much as we can. And we just break through all the different things that we're questioning. We go through all the feedback that we get from everybody and we try to improve the next event and make it as best as we can. So
yeah, constantly refining, which is fun.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to start rolling out real information about this year's program.
Yeah. No, me too. And that's coming now because we're going to be releasing a lot of sponsors. I've just created a bunch of art for them. So you're going to start seeing that drop. We have more speakers and expert guests that are getting announced. And as we continue to lock down those things, we're going to just kind of, like you said, further develop the whole thing. So Workbenchcon, in a quick summary, is a 2.5-day event where you get to come, you get your education, you get to learn to be a better content creator, you get to network with people, and then there are some hands-on classes as well. So they're going to have some demos. We're going to have something that's going to be some skill builders for you, and you get to ask experts right there about their products, which is huge.
And a few of our sponsors are in a few different mediums too. So it's not just woodworking.
Yes.
It is all kinds of craft, you know, craftsmanship.
No, that's important. And we are trying to broaden it as much as we can. There's going to be leather working.
Yes.
There's going to be epoxy. I'm gonna see what else can we do this out of the field. If you guys have contacts with people, bring them to us. It's still early.
Yeah.
Yes, acrylic this year. We're gonna have pigments for you guys to check out. There's gonna be different CNC booths there. So there's a bunch of exciting things that are gonna be happening. So if you have questions, feel free to DM us on the Workbench account or email us. And do you have anything else you want to say, Kristin, about Workbench?
No, I just hope that if there's any hesitation, know that we are creating and dropping down all the barriers as much as possible. And we would love to meet you and think that you will not have any regrets.
Oh, you know what I want to talk about before we get off? It's important. It's very important. Essentials on packing.
Oh.
Because I think it's important. And while we have people listening, why not bring your throat lozenges, bring your business cards,
a Red Bull.
bring some energy drinks, or get them to your room, you know, grab some water. I mean, there's a water fountain, just so you guys know. So if you bring a reusable water bottle, you can fill it up there. That's huge.
I am
water with you at all times.
Let's save the planet.
Exactly. We don't need to have a 30 pack of water bottles. We can just bring a container.
And it's a huge marketing optics for opportunity for you. If you have your Oh, you can start. Yeah, stickers
you can
are
put
huge.
Your artwork right onto your product, though. What you make, if you're an artist like myself, mine was a prop at WorkbenchCon. Whenever they asked me, "What do you make?" I just held up my water bottle. Made it very easy to talk about it.
Exactly. Look at that. She didn't even need words because she had
visuals.
But yeah, it's a great branding opportunity, you know, to have your brand.
And no one's gonna steal your mug.
So exactly. Or they'll know if you left it, somebody will know where to return it. So yeah, that's a big deal to me. I just save the planet, one bottle at a time. And then Okay, packing. Layers, because it is Atlanta. So we can send out an email today that says, oh, it's going to be 70 and sunny tomorrow. I mean, you know what? I'm going to wake up and it's going to be blustery and freezing.
Yeah.
It's never Atlanta, for whatever reason, the weather's never what it should be. So we've had Workbench Con where it has been stunning. I mean, 73 degrees, all the windows
Oh yeah, I
open,
got a
everybody's
sunburn one
outside.
year, like bad in the morning. I was
Yes.
like, whoops.
And then we've had other years where it was just rainy, drizzly, freezing mess.
Yeah,
So
so pack for the weather, any kind of weather, really.
yeah, because you definitely want to get over to the Battery,
I was to say
and
food
check
was
it
something
out.
important to talk about too before we get off.
Yeah, DoorDash does deliver if
Yep.
you wanted to DoorDash. If you did need, Tiffany mentioned this earlier, we didn't really touch too much on it, but some of us need a moment to recharge, you know, and listen because and recharge, because you don't want to be half empty when that really special conversation starts to happen, you know. So recharge. And if you need to just grab some DoorDash and or Uber Eats or all of those delivered to the hotel, I don't know if this hotel allows them to go to your room, or yeah, I don't think it does.
I met him
think
at the
you'd still
door,
have
so
to,
you could just meet him out right out in the
you
front
have to
door.
meet him in the lobby door.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that option. There are many quick service dining options close. Walkable, yeah, but it's not a great, like, they don't set you up for success walking.
Yeah, you can go to like one area. There was a really delicious like burger place.
Yeah.
That I just followed the crew. You know, you saw a crew of people walking. You just feel like they must be going for food. And
Yes.
so there is somewhere close by that has like really good stuff. But yeah,
I
you
mean,
have to know where you're
Grub.
going.
I think is it Grub? Was it kind of far away? Like you walked through a
It
parking
was
lot?
yes. We had to go
Yeah.
through a big parking lot. Yeah, like she said, you can walk there, but it's like an awkward walk. We're
Yeah.
being honest here.
Yeah.
But you can Uber places too.
Exactly. Uber's prevalent. Yeah. So it's walkable if you wanted to stretch your legs, and it is a gorgeous day. Hey, do it.
Yep.
But yeah, and there's like a Mexican place that's really good. There's the burger place. I think that there's a few other like sandwich shops and whatever in that same parking lot.
Okay. Yeah.
And then at the mall, so this is an Uber because you have to go over busy roads and whatever. But it is like it's 2 seconds from it, but just the way that you've got to get there, it's at Uber. There's a bunch of fast food. There's a Greek place that's, oh my gosh, delicious.
Oh, really? Okay.
A shawarma place. And they're all kind of quick servicey, you know, no atmosphere. But over there is a fine steakhouse, Maggiano's, PF Chang's. So there's your chain, Stony River Steakhouse, I think it's. So there's a few larger chains as well. And then at the Battery, which there is a bridge over the freeway.
Yes, that you can walk that for sure.
And it's what, a 7-minute walk?
I'm gonna go for 11 here. You know,
11?
There's an incline.
Okay.
There's an incline, slows you down a little bit.
Oh yeah. Lessen your stance.
Yes, yeah. Don't go, you know, just pace yourself.
So okay, so it's an 11-minute walk.
Like my
again, you can Uber.
Yep.
But it is so fun, y'all. Oh my goodness. The nightlife over there
it's a cool atmosphere.
It is so cool. And there are several bar, pub type menu places. Was it Yard House, that type of thing. But then there's also a few nice establishments, and our favorite pizza joint is called Antico's, and it is so delicious. They have a little olive oil bar that's full of Parmesan cheese and garlic and salt and pepper and chilies, and oh my gosh, make yourself a dip for your crust, and to
All right,
fun.
I'm gonna trust you on this. I haven't been, so
So, oh
check it
yeah,
out.
Antico's is, and don't let it intimidate you. Um, people, it looks really busy, and it is
It
busy,
is busy. Yeah, yeah.
and it gets full, but the line moves fast. They make those pizzas super fast because they're traditional wood oven pizzas, so they make them fast. Your biggest obstacle is finding a seat.
I
But
got you.
that time of the year, it might be
Yes.
outside.
Yeah, and I think that's important because you had mentioned like you can do Grubhub or, Uber
Yeah,
Eats or something like that too.
yeah, lots of
DoorDash.
options.
Yes, because
Mhm.
you may not want to go out on that adventure. You might be exhausted from learning. You could get that food delivered and you can eat in the
Mhm.
bar down there, the lobby, and then you can just go socialize. And we ended up
Yeah,
having to do that on Saturday night because it was crazy. But you will have
yeah,
breakfast and you will have lunch provided by us. It's dinner that
yes,
you have to find out where you want to go and eat or have it delivered to you. So we want to make
yeah,
sure that people are aware of that and give some options because we have heard in the past, like people go there and they have no idea where to go. And we just wanted to really talk about that a little bit before we get off. So I'm glad,
yeah.
I'm
Thank
glad you
you.
gave some
Yeah,
direction. Yeah.
food is good. Yes, and talking about food, we do provide breakfast and lunch, and it is better than just a box lunch. It's a
Oh yeah.
hot
Yep.
buffet. Um, it's good stuff. So, yeah, bring your water bottles, bring your energy drinks. If you are a person kind of like me where you need that afternoon snack, make sure you bring your snacks. We provide a very light snack in the swag bags, but you might not like what we choose. So, if
Yeah.
you need a snack, make sure that you pack your protein bars or what have
Yeah.
you, but
They're long days. So you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up because like you said, you
and
don't want to
energy.
be exhausted and you could have like this once in a lifetime conversation and yet your body just feels just drained. So
Yes.
it's a really smart point. Enjoy
Yeah.
yourself. Don't over enjoy yourself at night. So that way you're fresh for the morning.
Yeah,
Y'all know what
right.
I mean.
Uh-huh.
Stay sharp out there, folks.
Oh, speaking, we haven't even talked about our late night event. So,
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about them.
yeah, so after dinner, uh, we host Maker Lounge on Friday night. It is super fun. We have interactive kind of icebreaker games, Jenga, dominoes, cards, that kind of thing. Um, So please come back after dinner and join us in our Maker Lounge because it is a good night.
It's an awesome time. And if you like to dance, people have been getting crazier and crazier every year. So it's
Yeah.
just hilarious. Like
Yeah. So it
I love it. It's
starts
a good
off,
time.
it is. It starts off as kind of a networking, a little bit slower, and then quickly moves into a dance party. And if you enjoy still having those conversations,
Stay
the
on the
ballroom is
outside.
big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And there's the pre-function area. We have that whole space as ours, and the hotel is very generous in allowing us to kind of have our own space, which is also really cool.
Yeah.
We don't get
They
yelled out by the lobby
exactly.
people.
Yeah, no, it's true though. They are very generous with that because we do tend to take over the space, and it's
Mhm.
nice that we have a whole area where we can all be together. And like you're saying, that like by keeping everyone together, it's more opportunities for you to chat and meet people that you really want to meet and solidify friendships. Like a lot of us have never met before until you meet at these events, and it's a whole experience. It's so cool.
It is such an experience. It really is. It really is. The vibes will keep you going for what months.
Yeah, you'll have a hangover from it, even if you don't drink. So be ready for that because you're going to have so many ideas brewing when you leave
Yes.
and you're just going to be exhausted. You probably won't have a voice. Just be prepared for that, but you'll be so happy in a couple weeks once you've regenerated yourself because it takes a lot out of you, but it's a lot of fun and it's so worth it. So I'm just
So
excited to see everybody there. I love the energy. This year was crazy. Like people were
yeah.
just such in a good mood.
Yeah, I felt like 2023 set a benchmark for us, and I truly feel we are rising to that benchmark, if not above, with this year's program, 2024's program and opportunities.
I know it's getting so close. It's hard to call it like next year.
I
It's
know.
I'm like 2024, 2024.
I know next year sounds so far away, but
Yeah, it's
we're
right
here.
here. It's
We're
knocking
here,
on the
baby.
door. Well, thank you for coming on. I hope we got
Oh gosh,
everything
thank
that we wanted to
you.
talk about today. Like, I think we covered all the topics, but if we didn't, you guys just message us. Like we said, let us know if you have questions or if there's something that you would like us to make a reel on or something for a talking point. So we don't mind
Yeah,
responding that way either.
please.
Like, if enough people are interested. So
Exactly, exactly. We want to answer all your questions. We don't want any mysterious notions around Workbench.
and I'm going to end it with this. If you did not get the link to your hotel room, Kristin just sent that
Yes.
out an email. So check your spam folder for teams at workbenchcon.com. So there you go,
Yeah.
Kristin. There's our notification to
Thank you.
everybody. You're welcome.
Yeah, make sure you allow team at workbenchcon.com because we are going to start sending out pertinent information
Yes.
for you, like the eateries that are all over the place. And yeah, we really want to make sure that you all are well educated in those points of survival.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, we all know how grumpy we get if we don't have food. So
Yeah,
it's important.
And then some of our sponsors want to do a few special pre-con things, and we want to involve our attendees. So yeah, please allow that email into your inbox.
Perfect. See, there we go. I'm happy we mentioned that too. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'll see you again in another call in a moment.
I know, 5 minutes, babe.
All right.
Thank you again for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. And again, make sure to grab some saber-tooth burrs. We're going to have a fun contest in December, and I'd love to see you guys join us. If you have any questions, let me know and I'd gladly answer them for you. We want to make sure that everybody is as comfortable as possible when they're attending Workbench Con, and we want to really ease in that, you know, the nerves, the general nerves that you might have going into this, not knowing anybody. Maybe you don't feel connected to this community yet. So this here is a great way to get yourself connected. And as I always say, if you do a contest, it's a great way to build a community. So, I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm hosting a contest coming up soon, but also maybe I am a little bit. Join me. Okay, bye.